So we've turned up at Ultimate Diesel Tune this morning, and this really can't come soon enough. And I'm talking like I know it's already going to happen, because I was here about 4 years ago with the previous 79 that you guys have all seen. And we did 60,000 Ks of towing with that thing, and it did it flawlessly. So I'm back here, and Rob's going to talk us through what goes on. Thanks for having us, mate.
Yeah, good. Mate, firstly, thanks for coming back up.
Oh my God.
Okay, I've got a spare.
What have you done?
Oh my God. It's awkward and it's painful. Wiring sucks. Sucks.
What?
Just had brekkie at Yamba. We camped just north of Broom's Head last night near Red Cliffs.
Well, the campground's called Red Cliff Campground or Lake Aragon.
It's nice anyway. Yeah. So we're towing the van up to swap over and get a different van off Conqueror, so that's exciting. But one of our main reasons for going north is to go and get a tune at Ultimate Diesel Tune. I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a proper trip, tow on a caravan, get a fuel economy figure, go and record going up some hills, getting up to speed on the highway, and show how underpowered these things are and what an improvement that can be made from just a simple tune. I could say that now without having it done, because I have done this before with a different ute, and we're going back to the same guys because it was bloody perfect. So let's see what the difference is. Fuel economy, power, and we're about 6 tonne, about 2.8 tonne behind us. So it'll be a really good test and get some real world experiences to see what this is like. So, and a good trip to go with it. You keen, kids? Yeah. Righto, let's do it. So I'll show you what it takes to get up to 100 Ks an hour, but this will take a red hot minute to get it going. So let's see how it goes. Flatten the boards. That is flat to the boards. We've got a very, very slight incline, and this is genuinely how bad these things are. So keep an eye on the boost, the EGTs, and we're really not gaining any speed. Here it comes. So bad. It's so bad. Very, very minor incline. We're just at a crest. So it's just about flat now. And we have 100. Right, now to find out how terrible it is. I don't think it was real good. Foot flat to the floor is never good for fuel economy, and that's how you got to drive the bloody thing at the moment. So 78 litres, 20.1 litres per 100, which to be honest is heaps better than I thought it would be. And we just put it on 100 Ks an hour on the cruise in 4th gear, and after getting up the hills and losing speed, I just got back to 100 as fast as I could. Entering the freeway, we got up to 100 as fast as we could, which is still really slow. So we'll drive it the same on the way back. So in the morning, first thing in the morning, off to Ultimate Diesel Tune to turn this into something that is going to be enjoyable to drive. Can't wait.
Firstly, thanks for coming back up. I know it's a bit of a trip up from down south for you.
It is, mate, and with the kids, and but we've got other reasons to be here, and that is to bring a van back for Conqueror and tow one back home. And it was a really good opportunity to test the difference between an untuned 79, which is bloody painful, and a tuned 79. And you guys dyno them, and that's why I'm back. And there's so much out there about you do need to dyno them, you don't need to dyno them. What's too much power, what's not enough power. I'm hoping you can answer some of these questions for me and the audience today.
Look, firstly, Adam, I think, you know, getting your vehicle, having a clear understanding what you're going to use the vehicle for is really important. You know, there's no one tune, you just load in a car and it's happy, fully send it. We fully custom dyno tune that. So as we've done this morning before we've done the video, we've extracted the software out of your vehicle and we've obviously started to build and do the custom tuning process. Then we make changes as we go to get the right parameters we see in fueling, boost and all that to make sure the vehicle is right. And the dyno is actually a diagnostic tool to ensure we get the right outcome with the changes we're making to the factory ECU.
So even a brand new vehicle straight off the showroom floor, do you find you still have to make some changes? You know, so if there's another 79 series coming here today, exactly the same, brand new, you would find that the tunes will be slightly different?
Look, let me tell you, we had it was about a month ago, we had two young guys come in, both had Nissan Navara MP300s, identical stocks.
Navara life, come on.
Sorry mate, I know I'm talking Toyota, but let me tell you, the example for this car was, you know, you get your nice brochure and it tells you all the factory power output and all that. The cars were standard. I mean, literally, they were 1 week old, one was black and one was white. You couldn't get any more chalk and cheese. One car ran up 7 kilowatts and 30 newton meters different to the other car. Same day, same dyno in my Brisbane workshop.
Yeah, right.
So that's a prime example, like we're justifying to the customer why one car's better than that. Don't worry, we custom tune it, we made the improvements and they're pretty much line ball, but we needed to make changes given they were bought the same day, same dealership, one was black and one was white.
Yeah, well, that's a good example. The other thing I really like the idea of is the fact that you do dyno them before and after. Obviously, you can see the difference and you get the brag sheet. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that this thing has a louder set of injectors than the previous ute. And look, I don't think it's anything to worry about, but it's still something I'd like for you guys to say, no, that's normal. And the fact that you do so many, other than just pulling up, loading a tune in, and that's it, you really wouldn't get that diagnostic tool. And you're going to tell me that my car's fine today, I know, Rob.
Yeah. No, but it's also about, like Adam, it's about checking. So you know how I talked to you about, we do a pre-tune inspection, make sure mechanically everything's good with the vehicle.
Yep.
That's really important. We had a number of vehicles that come through in new manufacturers and they had about 1.5 litres less oil in than they should. So it's important to check all these sort of things. You know, if there's a concern with the injectors, you know, we'll check it, make sure that it's all okay.
Yeah.
It's a quick process for us to make sure it's all in good mechanical order.
Okay, so power, fuel efficiency and drivability aside, there's probably one of the biggest concerns most people have. I have a different view on this a little bit. Take responsibility on myself a little bit with these things, but who warrants this vehicle? It's a really hard one. I'm not asking you to talk for Toyota. You know, like I've got GVM upgrade, GSIM upgrade, I'm now tuning it, it's modified to the hilt, and now, you know, who warrants that tune? And it's a really hard question to actually ask and answer, I suppose.
Yeah, it's actually quite clear. It's, you know, this vehicle has to be fit for purpose, you know. So mechanically, you know, we're not trying to tune this vehicle and turn it into a V8 supercar, like you know.
Yep.
So we're tuning within the factory parameters to keep all those reliability within that and safe and reliable. Now, to answer your question, any modification you do to the vehicle, you know, could be refused. But what the manufacturer does need to do is prove that the changes and modifications you've done to the vehicle have caused the damage to that vehicle.
Yep.
You know, so a prime example is if your roof lining falls down inside your vehicle, you can't blame that on your bigger wheels.
Yep.
You know, that's a silly example. And likewise with the tune. If there was mechanically something wrong with the engine, like today when we diagnose it, we do all our testing processes from the tuning side of things through to the road test and logging of the vehicle as well to ensure that your vehicle drives out of here, as you saw with your last one,
yes.
70,000 Ks of travelling and towing, that you have no concerns. That's important. But there will be problems that could potentially happen with your vehicle mechanically. Fuel contamination's a big one.
Yep.
You know, that we can't, the tune will not, you know, stop your vehicle from extracting water into the intake and in through being sucking water in or damaging your injectors in your fuel system.
Yeah, so I mean there is outside influences that you can't be expected to warrant. I guess it's just probably a real question. It's got a lot of grey areas in it, and that is really answered well. And there is some responsibility on when you modify vehicles. You are pushing them a little bit further.
Yep.
But in the case of the 79 series, you can't own this car without doing it.
Yeah, well, you've known it, but I just want to be really clear about that. The vehicle does need to, if there's a mechanical problem with the vehicle, then that does sit with the manufacturer with the vehicle.
Yep.
We are not tuning outside the specifications of the factory issue. We keep all the parameters there. If there's any alerts, temperature warnings, all that's kept in line with your vehicle. I'm
really interested to see what the fuel economy is like. It's not something I've really done this for at all. You buy a V8 Landcruiser, not for fuel economy. You just don't. In saying that, I don't think they're as bad as everyone makes out, but I'm really curious to see what the drive home looks like. But first, let's get on the dyno, and I really want to see some numbers, get the brag sheet.
Yeah, look, so just to talk you through the process, so today what we're going to do is we're going to take it in the workshop, carry out the pre-tune inspection, so some of those questions, just make sure everything mechanically the vehicle is sound. Second to that, we'll put the vehicle on the dyno and do our base runs to see the performance of the vehicle and is in standard form. As you can hear, there's a bit of noise, there's another car on the dyno right now. Then second to that, we start obviously making the changes to see the right parameters we want for custom tuning your vehicle. So in relation to the dyno, you've got bigger wheels and tyres on your car.
Yeah, it'll look a bit weak.
It will, but as we see with a 70 series, it can lose 15 kilowatts in standard form, both a set of standard tyres on a 70 series to running, say, 35s.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks my car's down on power, it's not running right from what it should do. It's exactly why we start with a base run and we see where it ends up after we tune it. And the reality is, you should get exactly the same gains no matter what modifications with tyres and wheels are on the vehicle, from where it starts to where it finishes.
So it's all relative.
Correct, but that's why you need to obviously do your dyno diagnostics to run the vehicle up to get that base run.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it.
All right, I'm going to get the boys, we'll get this in the workshop, carry it out. You're going to jet out of here. You'll see you back this afternoon.
No worries, mate.
And we'll go through and talk about it. And I'd love to see your reaction when you jump in the car and take it for a drive.
Sweet, thanks, Rob.
All right, cheers, Adam. Bye.
Okay, so Rob's been busy tuning the 79 and it took a lot longer than we expected. I did joke at the start that we installed the clutch and there might be issues, and that honestly was a joke, but we couldn't have wrote a better script, because what'd you find, Rob?
Yeah, look, as I said, it's really important, no matter whether they're brand new, the cars, or not, we still do a mechanical inspection to make sure everything's in good order. We backed it on the dyno, and we just found the fueling wasn't right. It wasn't making the right power. It was a little wavy within the air-fuel ratios, which is not good. Started to do a bit more digging, took it off the dyno, and what we actually found on the top of the gearbox was the torque limit switch, which it was on, we just hadn't pressed it right down. Took it off, put it back on, ran it back on the dyno, absolutely perfect, no problems as we'd expect. But yeah, had a bit of a gander, obviously had to diagnose and just find out what it was. Good news is, mate, there's no problem. But I suppose the big thing for me, and to highlight to you as well and anyone else, we wouldn't have picked this up if we don't have the diagnostic tool with the dyno to see what goes on.
Yeah, and I mean that's the big thing. Like, I couldn't write this better if I tried, and obviously I didn't try and bugger up putting the gearbox back in and missing a plug like that. But having it onto a dyno and actually being able to see that problem before then going try and push more power in it and just loading and tuning it and driving away, it really has told the story of why I did come back.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad you found it, mate.
Yeah, look, and as I said to you, it's not just everyone has to come to Ultimate Diesel Tuning, but there's really some key things you need to ensure that when your vehicle is getting tuned, it's done at a reputable place. They're using a dyno and they're writing the software to that vehicle for your car. And they're the important. The big thing as well is having a good understanding, like we spoke about, Adam, what are you using it for, which we knew, because obviously very similar to your previous model 79. Know what you're using for it so we can truly custom tune it for the right reasons.
So I did ask Rob to tune it for towing. It's a touring vehicle. I don't want a ball tearing, or outright power machine. It's to do 100 k's an hour comfortably, uphill, downhill, and do it all day long. So what kind of numbers did we make?
Look, first and foremost, the car ran it really nicely. 97 kilowatts of power and sort of 290, just under 300 newton meters of torque. When we ran it up, custom tuned it, make the changes to get it to where we wanted to see the vehicle in performance-wise. 134 kilowatts of power and 567 newton meters of torque at the rear tyres. Now, talking percent gains is the big thing. This now has 90% more torque than it should have had at standard.
That it should have had.
So you're going to notice a massive difference. That's what we get out of 70s though. We do so many of these each week, and the results, as you said, they're very underwhelming from standard, but the results make them an absolute pleasure to drive, especially when you're towing a bit of weight behind them.
Well, I really thank you for finding the stuff that I missed, and I can't wait to get in and go for a drive, so let's go for a spin.
Yeah, let's get it off the dyno, and you take it for a drive and put a bigger smile on your face now.
Let's do it.
Did you put all these in?
No, USB-C, mate.
They come with it now.
I know, it's fucking amazing.
Fuck, it's fancy.
I laughed at that too.
Is this standard?
Yeah. No.
I was going to say. Whoa! I was trying to wind the window up.
So many people still say that. Oh, how much extra was air conditioning? Oh, come on.
Don't be rude.
Where am I going, Rob? Which is a good spot?
Go left down the street.
So much better. Why don't Toyota just do that?
Yeah, the amount of people that ask, it's just, you can drive it around in fourth gear. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like now you can just come on the throttle and it's just easier.
So much better. Left, right.
Go left, go up the hill. And just second gear, you just drive out of here, at 20 k's an hour, you're in second gear now, you've got 35-inch tyres on it, and just ease the throttle and you can just feel just the power's just nice.
Yeah, it's so much better. So much better, and then there's still, and the last one was the same, there's still not a fast car. No. But then you put 3.5 ton on the back of it, and it's just right, it's bang on.
What it does, Adam, is that when you're driving around, they're a heavy vehicle. When you put, your 3 ton plus on the back, the difference is on a smaller car, you notice it so much more. You just don't notice the big load on the back of this when they're tuned nicely.
So responsive.
In the mid-range, it's just when, from sort of 2 just to 2.5, it's just, it just does it easy. Not that you're putting your foot through the flywheel, it just drives nicer. Yeah. And that's what I try and explain to people. This is not to try and turn your 79 into a V8 supercar. It's just so that it drives nicer.
Yeah.
And as you know, with the MPC clutch, when you change them from standard, they're actually lighter than the standard pedal feel.
Yeah, it is. The clutch is quite light. The whole heavy-duty clutch thing is heavy-duty by name.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
They are lighter than the factory clutch.
Yep. We've had people come in and go, no, you're meant to put a heavy duty clutch in my car.
Yeah.
It's the pedal softer. No, that's exactly right.
Alright, so we've done the tune.
Yes.
What other supporting mods do you think I should do, realistically?
Like I said to you, the biggest thing that I'm going to be telling everyone on these new 2024 is doing the fan upgrades on the top of the intercooler. Just for people, I think airflow potentially with the bull bars that are going on these cars, I really think it's a good added benefit for the vehicle. You've got everything. You've got the DPF pack exhaust system. We spoke about the RMAX snorkel, which you're going to be putting on it as well. And I think it's an all-round good package. I think there's a whole heap of things you can go at. You can do big turbos, you can do that. But for the bang for bucks, this is a really good package with what you've got.
Yeah, I don't think you need any more power than this. Like I said, it's responsive. It's nice to drive in traffic now. And then once 3.5 ton is on the back, I can feel it's going to be very similar to the old one, and it is perfect, and that's why we bought another one, and that's why we come back to Ultimate Diesel Tune. So I really appreciate your work, Rob.
It's good, Adam. I mean, I like hearing people's travels and experiences as well. It's really it's exciting for me, hearing that it changes the way they travelled and the car does it easy. I get up the hill, I'm not concerned about overtaking a big truck now with my van on the back, because it does it easier.
Yeah, well,
and safer.
I wouldn't have bought another car. Yeah. I wouldn't have bought another V8 79 series if I hadn't have done this.
Yeah.
So it is that important.
Awesome, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Rob.
Enjoy it.
Cheers, buddy. Well, we made it home to STS Garage, and the ute is so much nicer to drive. I don't know how people own these things without getting them tuned. So the EGTs, I think the highest we saw was about 490, which is still quite low, and that is uphill, flat to the boards. I really give it a good test on the way home. I did drive it a little bit harder than before it was tuned, using fifth gear, because you are able to do that. The van we're towing would have been around the 2.8 tonne, something like that. So, you know, with a 3.5 tonne van on the back, previously we usually really did stick to fourth. With that little bit lighter weight, I am able to use fifth now that it's tuned. Obviously going up hills, you know, you do drop back to fourth occasionally just to make it a bit easier on the ute. But it does transform the vehicle. It's a pretty tame towing tune. You can definitely get more out of them. I've got mates that have them, and they go a fair bit harder than mine. But I chose that because I know I didn't have any dramas with it. For 60,000 Ks, we still have the DPF in the vehicle, works as per factory. So yeah, like I said, that is my decision to go with Ultimate Diesel Tune. It cost me $1,400. They gave me $200 discount because I was a returning customer, and they didn't actually charge me to diagnose my stuff up. So it is actually probably one of the better value modifications you'll do to a car, especially a 79 Series V8, knowing that you nearly pretty well double the power. Okay, so fuel figures. Now, I really wasn't expecting a lot, and to be honest, the fuel consumption was slightly worse on the way home, being 21.2 litres per 100. Now, the van we towed home was slightly heavier than the one we towed up there, and I did drive the car harder because it was able to go faster. I went a little bit faster. So that's the honest truth there, guys. Really, fuel use is dependent on your foot. If you want to sit on 85, 90 kilometers an hour, you probably get 17 litres per 100. For me, I'm happy to sit on 100. And when you're doing 100 Ks up the hills, it's going to use more fuel than doing 60 Ks up the hills. And that is just how a combustion engine works. There's no magic to it. I've always found over the years that it really doesn't matter on you know, the size of the motor, or even petrol and diesel to some degree. It's how much you put your foot down, and how heavy that vehicle is, and the wind drag that you're pushing has a bigger effect on fuel economy than just about anything else. But I would 100% do it again. I hope that really gives a really good in-depth look into getting a 79 series or just about any ute tuned, and why I chose to go with Ultimate Diesel Tune. Like I said, we did pay for that tune ourselves. We only went back there because we'd done it before 4 years previously and had such a good experience. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. I need to get back to work. We got Lazarus 60 to keep going with, and also the train canopy package will be finished off very shortly. I'm excited for that. It looks awesome already with the tray on it, as you've seen a few little shots there, and the canopy's going on this week. Don't forget, guys, you only live once. Get out in the shed, get into that project. See you next time.